I guess I do get to have friends. Perfecto. Deacon infecting my game. All of this stuff is my stuff. Isn't that weird? You guys cool with that? Oh, you guys are in your outfits, of course. Well, my restricted access thing didn't come through there, but there's the way out right there. Oh, God. We're good. Oh, that's cool.
Entering the labyrinth's the easy part. Making it back out. I'm still trusting your plan on that one, Captain.
Plan? He thinks I got a plan? You guys are stupid.
You're doing great, buddy. You're good enough.
You're smart enough. Doggone it.
A
plan? He thinks I've got a plan. Mutant, thank you very much for gifting that sub.
Too late to back out now, huh? Fear not, Captain.
It's in Ramsai. I am glad you're here. How's it going? What you doing? We're just about to discover two very important things. The first one is whether or not we actually can complete this game without having to actually kill anybody. If there was ever going to be a person that the game was like, yeah, you got to murder that dude, it's going to be a boss type figure at the end of the game. Right? And also... Also, the other thing that we need to work on... Oh, I don't know why I'm sneaking around here. I'm your friend. We're also going to see if there's any kind of record. Oh, you fucking... You fucking... Yo. It's okay, you can't see me. Exhausting from looking at... Oh, shit. Oh, sorry.
Are you new here?
Dude, you did a great job. Exhausted from looking at wedding locations. The old congrats are in order. C&P's fundable edibles. There was a lot of good stuff in here, wasn't there? We did a great job picking things up, putting them down. And also, I think with the exception of one boozy drink that we drank on accident, we did a pretty good job of never actually drinking anything or taking any of the like alcohol or the tobacco products or whatever. I'm just getting rid of literally everything. A spreadable Borst substitute. I can't believe it's not Borst. Shit. So weird. I'm apparently allowed to be in here and have all this stuff. I should, I guess, look to see if they have anything worth a damn in here, but it doesn't look like it. Cool. Transition to the pit. 1998 ladder animation. Shh. At least they got ladders in this game. If it ain't pit, it ain't shit. At least that's what I've been told. Why do they keep pancake mix in the security booth? That's weird. The vermin too. Possession of anti-UDL communication, inciting violence. This guy was randomly selected for solitary confinement. That's fun. Well, let's see who's in here. Nobody. Hey, buddy. Don't worry about me. I'm just in here to drink your cacao milk. It's very weird to watch a game you don't know. It's impossible to follow what I'm doing. Well, I don't know what I'm doing either. I just know that I'm doing it right. Hello. Probably. Seems good. We don't need to do any of this, you know, talky-walky Mickey Mouse bullshit. I better get past these guys while I have a chance. Shh, can't see nothing. I'm too far away. I'm too far away, I said. See, the ladder's blocking your view. You can't see me. Oh, shit.
Are you new here?
I was just testing the thingy. Nailing it.
Can we do you?
I would like to hereby request that the next Outer Worlds playthrough be an artsy melee build. Laughing face ban hammer the fuckers.
Seems good to me. Let's do it. How do they not see me? So there's a thing at the bottom. This little purple thingy that's at the bottom here. That's a, like, holographic disguise thing. But it only lasts a certain amount of time before it goes to shit. And then I have basically 3 speech checks that get progressively harder to attempt to, like, befuddle them so that I can not do the thing that I need to do here. So hopefully that's that. But Artsy, thank you very much for that donation. Sounds good to me. Is it sneak based or is it armor based? It seems like we should be doing heavy armor melee for this build that you're describing. Fuck. Sir, you don't see nothing. And I insist that you fuck off. For I need to go through that door, undoubtedly. Shh. God damn it.
Hold it. Something.
Don't worry. Bleeding into my ears. That's what's wrong with me. I only needed to get through a little bit more, huh? Couldn't quite do it. Chairman Rockwell? Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. We just had the game crash. Fucking CTD disappeared. That's some sad, cold, dark, endless fucking night, man. I'm telling you. I don't like that one bit. Who knows how fucking long ago it was that we got our little autosave on. Probably. I mean, we saved right before we started doing this shit, but Jesus God, that is some shit. Right as it was about to go to a cutscene, it couldn't quite do it, and the Chairman Rockwell cutscene, or whatever it was, just didn't go down. It's some garbage. That's your opportunity, I guess, to kill the chairman if you wanted to kill Chairman Rockwell. Fuck. Heavy armor. Alright, you got it. So this is how far back we were. Bunch of horse shit. Last time we came in here, we zipped through this door. We read some stuff on a computer. And then we also grabbed something called the something 2. We crept past this dude, took his stuff. It's my milk. Then we dicked around in here for a little while. The elevator. This is where they keep Fry's, or not Fry's, Professor Farnsworth's parents. Okay. And then this time I'm going to try to avoid talking to these dudes by making a beeline directly for this door. Because last time we got to right here and I had to give up one of my passes. And we're out. The purple bar empty. The game ran out of working order. That purple bar is how long you can play before it crashes. These guys are just like, fuck going the hard way around. We're gonna sneak right through here. Okay, there's a naughty dude there. There's a sir right there who's not looking, so... Oh, there's a grenade launcher too right there. That's nice. Let's wait for this jump to get out of the way. Get out of the way, chump! Thanks. Okay. And then we got to right here. Only I did a lot more exploring and all that kind of stuff last time. Let's see if it crashes immediately again. Yep. So... Question. Does this game have a bug where when you get to a very certain point in the game, you can't continue because it is a broken game with a broken bit? How do you get your hologram back? By passing one of 3 continuously difficult speech checks and leaving and re-entering a restricted area. Yeah, you know what I think we better do? If this is a game-breaking bug, I think that the first thing we ought to do is reset the computer. Because if we don't do that, then we can't at least be sure that it's not something that's just like hanging out in memory waiting to shit its pants. But a crash to desktop literally every time you enter the end area in a game that you can't avoid is not good form. That will put a fucking damper on our shit for sure. Let's see. It says, during the end game, your character is sent yada yada. Navigate your way yada yada. When you enter a studio room inside with Chairman Rockwell, if you enter, the game will crash and shut down. 6 separate attempts. I tried this on my Xbox. 6 times it crashed in the exact same place. Given this is on the mission's direct path, it's a mission you must complete or you can't leave the station. Has really ruined the gameplay experience. I've been getting the same thing on PC via the Game Pass. Repairing or resetting the app, reinstalling the game, hard reset of the PC, same thing. Crashes you enter the doorway. I've had the same issue. Quest name is Brave New World. Console freezes every time, then kicks you back to the dashboard. Xbox One every time you try to enter the studio room where the chairman is in the Tartarus prison. Entering the room triggers the crash. Only way to avoid is to open the door, stay outside the room, then kill the chairman from outside before entering. Probably a cutscene issue in that area. Most likely when you enter the room, a cutscene or something is supposed to trigger, but instead it's a crash. Agreed. Yeah, it's a massively game-breaking crash, and every single person has it. It says, yada, yada, yada. The error list follows this. Da, 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 da. The game is impossible to
He'll
finish.
be back. Terminator 25 bonus 2.
Alright, so it looks like there might be a way that we can bypass this right now, since we're all sort of desperately waiting for the end of the game. And it's going to involve giving up on some cutscene. Yeah. It looks like you can bypass it by bypassing the cutscene by causing a fucking ruckus with the chairman. So, let's cause a fucking ruckus with the chairman and see what we can get done. Yeah, I mean, I would rather not. Here's the thing. I would rather not just leave this to complete later and then do something else in the meantime. That seems kind of whack. But it looks like there might be a way to solve it. Apparently this is not a door I can open or shut. So I can't use that way. And come around here. This guy walks up here, or at least he did last time. It's okay, I'll just cruise past all these fools. So this is where the problem lies. Right? If we go through the door, we get a cutscene. So we'll open this. I'll get out my mind control ray here. No cutscene, I take it. And now we gotta figure out where the hell we're going. We don't have very good armor, do we? Or a replacement for the fact that we don't have very good armor, do we? So we'll just have to get back into hidden mode. There's nobody up on this floor, apparently. But we did cause the chairman to start shooting at his friends. And we got our disguise back. So let's just go.
Got a promotion coming. I can feel it.
Good for you.
This is nice. Calm before the storm and all that.
That's the calm before the storm?
My life has been leading up to this point. I am, I believe I'm ready for this.
Well, that's what happens when you go through the thingy. Those holograms are serious business.
Captain, you've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. You've disrupted the balance of power.
Fuck you.
You've upset the natural order of things.
Fuck you. Money's not
You've
real.
introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more.
Alright, well, do they pay you by the word?
Typical. The force of your personality is well documented. I should have dealt with you a long time ago. You were always too dangerous to leave unchecked.
Right, but, you're all bluster and empty threats.
I'm not surprised by your arrogance. Leaving you alive was... I have Dr.
Leaving you
Wells
alive?
in my
I ran out of your office and nobody decided to fuck with me after that.
I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've...
Well, you know. I'm not leaving without him, so...
I take no pleasure in this, you know. Leaving you alive...
Well, let's talk about this. No Persuade 100 yet?
Anyone with eyes, you want...
Well, you know, it's time to let go.
I'm keeping this colony from falling over the edge of disillusion. With my... You had so...
We can still work together. The chairman was just telling me this is all your fault.
Rockwell said that. Chairman Rockwell? That's absurd.
Yeah, let me speech check my way out of this, please. The situation is already out of hand. Rockwell wants you gone.
That's ridiculous. Hell, I have given the chairman nothing less than a...
Everybody's disposable to the board, even you.
Enough. I haven't given up on the program. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet.
Sure, but Intimidate 100, Hack 100? Boom.
What? You can't be serious.
Oh, I'm serious. I just had to talk you. I just had to keep you talking to buy myself some time.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah, hurry up and do that shit. I'm glad we could settle this without violence.
I just hope the fate of the colony.
Booyah. Instant breakfast. Give me that boy. He's my boy. Yeah, tinkering is like, I don't even know. It doesn't seem like it does that much good, but I guess if it's the best armor you got and you can improve it a little bit, then yeah, there you go. I wonder what the cutscene is supposed to be with the chairman. I assume it's something like, we're gonna record this blah 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 bullshit. Wait, am I allowed to just cruise up here and take him? I sure am glad we were able to settle this without violence. That seems like quite the treat. Oh god. Oh, that's the Tartarus, whatever it is. Sophia left her key? Well, isn't she a nice lady? You ready, bro? Time to get out of here. How about this cutscene? Broken?
You made it.
Yeah.
I can hardly believe my eyes.
And now that there's not bulletproof glass
You didn't
between
have to
us,
do this, you know.
we
Risk
can
your life.
finally hold hands. You know I wouldn't let anything happen to you,
I
Phineas.
just hope your efforts were not in vain.
Mm-hmm.
You've left the board in tatters. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon.
Yeah, I gotta say, your plan is a little bit half-baked, Phineas, seeing as how the problem is there's too many mouths to feed and not enough nutrition to go around, and your solution is, let's introduce 10,000 more mouths to feed. Aw, I don't like the sound of that at all.
Earth has gone dark.
Oh,
We
God.
haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing.
Nuclear
2
war.
years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Yay.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own.
Earth is only an idea to us, but that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone
You know,
dark,
if there's one thing that's a
shock
little bit
would be
weird
too
about
much to
these
bear.
faces, it's that there's
I
no
don't want to
reflection
imagine what
in the
will happen
eyes.
once news gets out. Let's just keep this
Everybody
between
looks
us
like
for
they're
now.
underwater.
Earth isn't going to help us. No one's going to help us now. We're alone out here, and I don't know if we're going to survive.
I feel like they could have put at least a couple of speculars in there and it would have been fine. We best get started.
I had hoped your fellow colonists might hold the key to saving Halcyon, but I don't have nearly enough chemicals to revive them all.
We'll start with the smartest
I'll
ones.
do what I can. I just hope it's not too late. It's time I return to my lab.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to save as many of the Hope's colonists as I can. You're under no obligation to help me. You've done enough already.
Oh, please. I'm the only competent person left. You don't have to ask. I'll help you.
Thank you. I'm going to need all the help I can get.
Me and my crew.
I know I've asked too much of you already. I revived you into a strange and unfamiliar colony. I put your life at risk. I made you an accomplice to my own ends.
Mm-hmm. And you never once
You
got
were going
naked
to
for
save
me.
This colony, you know. That's what I told myself when I pulled you from the Hope. You and I were going to set everything right. Now, I don't know what to think. Earth is gone, and we are going to need a miracle to survive another generation.
Uh-huh.
I always suspected Halcyon might collapse one day. I just thought we would have more time.
Well, if it comes down to it, we got a freezer full of food to eat.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable.
Yeah.
From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come.
Doesn't feel like I did
The
anything to
damage
disrupt
they
their
left
authority.
behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on.
Like who?
In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Left unchecked, the war on Monarch consumed both MSI and the Iconoclast.
Oh, shit.
And when the sulfur cloud settled, only stragglers from both factions remained. Some found their way to Sublight, some to Terra 2, and some lived their final years fighting for food in the wilderness.
Because I never finished the war, everybody died.
Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together.
Oh, no.
The collapse of Edgewater left its workers...
Doesn't seem like I did a very good job. We completed the game without killing anybody, but goddamn, everybody suffers as a result.
Into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well...
Didn't kill anyone, but everyone died anyways.
Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse.
Adelaide, you suck.
A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter.
Winter?
Under the leadership of June
They got seasons?
The Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's tradition.
Oh, we did good for the Groundbreaker.
The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising.
Hell yeah.
The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter.
Look at this.
Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less.
Some even had to get jobs. It was a
Even
dark
had to get
time
jobs.
indeed.
It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a
Not
small
gonna stay on
crew
my crew, huh?
and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands.
Yeah.
As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens
Save
much
everyone
worse than the
playthrough.
ones he had struggled
But we'll
with.
do our best with
And
the
he
next
devoted
playthrough.
himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace.
Good.
Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker. And Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed.
Adorable.
The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name. And in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem.
Yay.
She and Junlei were never far apart. As hard as she tried
Adorable.
to drink them away,
Oh, no.
Nyoka's memories
We never helped
eventually
Nyoka.
overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets.
Is
The
the
SAM
machine
unit
gun
at a
screaming
company
swears and she's
spread
spitting
awareness
bullets?
of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales.
Nice.
Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon?
Yay.
Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it.
Good old Sam.
It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the
There were
colony.
riots? I never saw anybody.
Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believe she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists.
They left that participle dangling,
There
didn't
is
they?
another
Yep.
theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor.
You.
If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab.
With me,
He was never able to come to terms
making
with his
sweet
own
love
past,
3 times a day
troubled
after
by
every
the decision
meal
of placing all his faith
for
in
20
the first
years.
colonist he ever revived, the infamous Captain of the Unreliable. The revival project yielded mixed results. Phineas, weighed down by limited support and his own guilt,
Why would he be guilty?
struggled to revive more than a handful of scientists and engineers. They made a heroic effort to solve the colony's problems,
Ah, shit.
but with small numbers and facing long odds, their solutions never caught on.
God damn.
Only a few of the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Wells died before he could see the fruits of his labor.
Fuck.
He passed away a haunted man.
Is it because I didn't
Crushed by the
steal all
guilt
the
of his
chemicals and
failure.
kill everybody in the room?
Small, petty factions squabble over what remains of the colony. Every attempt to reach out to Halcyon's neighbors is met with silence. And what about you? The unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon.
Well, I got a great butt.
Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories. for
Captain
years
Dr.
to come.
Fluffbum. That's fun. Alright. We gotta watch all of this shit, though, because we need to see if there's any kind of records. Yo, Tim Kaine. What up, buddy? Leo Boyarski. Sequel, DLC fodder. Yep, there's all that. But we gotta figure out if there's any kind of anything that's gonna keep any kind of track of anything. Because if not, I'm calling this a no-kill run. We really didn't ever participate in any kind of combat, and we always took the least violent option possible. And in the few cases where people did die, it was due to their own decisions, like running across landmines or drinking too much vodka. Lilia's voice is Nora. Nora shit? It is Nora. They're all Nora shit. Which one of these people was a McDevitt or related to one because they say it right? Let's see, it was probably this one? No, it was this one. Brandon Long. How are you supposed to say it? Not a well-known surname. Wanted to see some Outer Worlds gameplay? Join for the wall of text. Well, don't worry, Kuma, because when we finish this out, we're going to immediately start another playthrough. So you're not gonna miss much. You're gonna see the start of the game. I like how the ship is shaking. Yeah, it's kind of correcting itself over and over again. Wiggles killing everyone. Obsidian, special thanks to Mary, lifetime supply of salt, Louie, Mommy, family, birthday caterings. I don't see my name anywhere. What the shit? We'll see. God, there's some people in here who wrote this a little bit too quickly. Not enough time to thank everybody. Mochi, the bestest rat. Mochi, the bestest rat is pretty good in there. So apparently Ashley Birch gets top billing there. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else in here that I recognize, but they kind of went too fast. Oh well. Ashley Birch with the top billing. Acknowledgements for their D&D characters. So, speaking of D&D and the Birch family, I didn't know that this was a thing, but apparently there's a podcast called Dungeons and Daddies, and it's a D&D like play whatever real play podcast that has Freddie Wong in it, and it also has Anthony Birch as the DM, and apparently it's about dads who get like transported to the D&D world and they have to find their kids. It seems pretty good, so I'll probably have to sit and listen to it. But production babies? Where are the production babies? This guy? This guy, all babies are babies of product. Courtney Taylor's Lilia, and also the female source survivor / Nora, yes. Interesting. We gotta do a playthrough where we actually do what they actually want us to do. I missed it. I was too busy thinking about Jessica F., Senior Director of Take-Two Interactive. Buddha Jones. Welcome to Buddha Jones. Virtuos Shanghai. Virtuos Sparks. It's like a porn star name right there. I'm Virtuous Sparks. She's also a Ada, Outer Worlds Ada, not Automatron Ada. Oh. I don't know if Papa Birch is in it. I just know that Anthony Birch is the DM, and that the other people are all like famous either YouTubers or video game dev people or voice actors or something. There's a few good ones in there. I'm gonna have to look and see. Well, that was some Star Trek-y shit, man, with that music coming up all hot and heavy there for a second. With 3 X's, yeah, for sure. Oh, dear son of a sweet bitch. We need to see what's going on at the end of this. Yeah, I think I'll have to give a little, I don't know what, a little thing at the beginning of this video, if we're putting it on YouTube, of this playthrough, to be like, all right, look, there's no way to keep track of this, so this is how we did it. We never killed nobody with combat, and we also did our very best to avoid killing people in the game with like speech options and hacking and that sort of thing. Every once in a while, people fought other people, but you know what's funny is, having the robots fight one another didn't make any difference. That never came up because we just snuck past everything. We could actually streamline this playthrough a lot. If we didn't have... I think the thing that we used the most was Lie, which is the thing that actually involves, like, whatever. And Persuade was the next most used thing, but we could have ditched Intimidate probably almost entirely and just had Persuade. Yeah, Zenfo, but we'll restart it here in a little bit. I just want to see what happens. Oh, they're using Roboto. That's a good font. Just want to see what happens at the end, if we get any kind of anything, cutscenes or sneak previews or maybe a little thing that shows where we're at. Nope, none of that. Okay. So, to reiterate, if this playthrough is on YouTube, you gotta know that this is a no-kill run. We didn't kill anything with our little combat adventures. We did lead some guys into some landmines. That was their decision to follow us. And we also gave a guy a vodka until he drank himself to death, but it was his decision to keep drinking it. So... those are the two things that I'm like, I don't know how that goes, but it was as pacifist as any of the original Fallouts, and even Fallout New Vegas. You know, in Fallout New Vegas, when you complete the game, you still have a battle at Hoover Dam that involves tons of people dying, but it's just not by your hands. And convincing Zax to blow himself up is considered the pacifist thing in Fallout 3, and it involves an entire military base self-destructing with tons of people dying inside. So I'd say, as far as it goes, this is the most pacifist game I've ever played. It's super pacifist to complete it as a pacifist. So I hope you enjoyed that playthrough. And, I'll just keep putting some new shit up as time goes on. So thanks, YouTube. And for the people here on Twitch, I'm going to take a bio break right here, get some, delicious snacks. And when we come back, we'll start a playthrough where we actually have combat and murder and things. Hey, YouTube. Sekatsu wants you to know that you're cool.